fabulous fabric from the land of the Five Rivers.
Years ago, when we came to Los Angeles, I really believed that the greatness of the Raiders would be in its future.
The Raiders are a really interesting team. We don't love the ownership, but they have a new front office, a new coach from New England.
If Josh McDaniels don't turn the team around this year, it's to be fired.
Not a lot has gone right for the Raiders under this regime.
They're doing what they do best. They are trying to lose. They should probably find a new hobby because it is going to be a disaster.
Raider Nation, what is good, man? I'm here live from Vegas, man. Well, guess who? Not just me, but let me see if I could. Oh,
what's good, Raider Nation?
Hey, man. Special edition, man. Finally, undrafted. A special edition of Undrafted, man. Live from Vegas. The Raiders win, man. Second in a row, 2-0. 2-0. Hold on one second. Let me try to see if I can set this up correctly so you can see the both of us. Hold on one second. Give me just a second here. Hold up. Camera. Let me go to. Appreciate y'all patience, man. 1 second. Let's see. Boom. We're gonna make this special right here. Hold on 1 second. Back door. Boom. Boom. Hold on, can you see it? Can you see it?
Yeah, just straighten it out.
Right here?
It's cockeyed.
Right here? To the left?
Here, fix it. Come watch this. Because I see what it's doing.
Yeah, man, we live in Vegas, man. After a great win, man, we were able to see a team out there, man, a head coach be a head coach. We see a young rookie QB developing for our eyes. Still work in progress, but that was a tough defense.
Yeah.
That was a tough defense. You want to go ahead and take this over real quick? Hold on one second.
So hey,
in the chat, if you can let us know, can y'all hear us?
Yeah, if you guys can hear us, if the camera angle's good, I'm gonna shout out the chat. Problem TV says yo. Dark says salute Raider Ray Raiders. Alec M says Raiders just won. B Al says W Raiders.
Yes, sir.
Alex says against one of the top defenses of the league, Raiders get the dub. Yeah.
Hey.
Cheers Vegas. Yeah, everything's good. Boom. Everything's good, man. So yeah, we touched down. We landed here in Vegas. My first home experience. It was great. But man, let's get into the Raiders, man. They got something going on here with AP. Tell me how you felt about the game.
I mean, for me, like it was another ugly game. Let's be honest, like another ugly game. But hey, what did Al Davis once say? Just win, baby. So we'll take it any day of the week. It's a win. But it wasn't just an ugly game. I thought the team faced a really tough defense, and they got the job done. A young rookie QB who did have a tough turnover, which the refs, the boys in stripes is always going to be at the Raiders, which was never an interception. I didn't like that throw, but for the most part, I felt like you could see Aiden O'Connell, his accuracy. You could see, man, that throw he had with Michael Mayer in the end zone was nice. Michael Mayer sighting in the red zone, huge. The play calling, this game you kind of can see the rookie OC kind of showing himself a little bit in the first half, where he could have made it easy for Aiden O'Connell by maybe running the ball on 3rd and 18 or getting the ball out of his hands. Instead, we get a sack, we lose 3 points right there. But for the most part, man, at the end of the day, I'm kind of I'm happy with the defense is they're winning games.
Yeah,
for the team.
Yeah, I think personally, offensively, like you're creating building blocks for Aiden O'Connell. Like the young kid has 2 wins with a new regime. AP in the post press conference said it great. He said him, Bo, Aiden, three rookies trying to figure it out together, and I thought that was a significant statement because this is Aiden's it's 3rd start technically, but it's really his 2nd as like the bona fide starter, getting first team reps, and for him to go on a Sunday night game like this, going against a New York Jets defense, like that's not an easy task, especially the type of defense that they play and the challenges that they present. You're out Colton Miller, your starting left tackle who's blocking your blind side, your right tackle swings over, you're putting Thayer Mumford, a 7th round draft pick in. I love the ability to adjust at halftime. The interview with AP at halftime says, man, we got to start running the ball. And then you see that in the second half. The chunk plays start to happen. They stay committed to it.
Yeah.
They find a way to get Josh Jacobs involved in the game. It gave the Raiders offense a spark that they needed. And then defensively, man, like how much more could we say about a guy like Robert Spillane? Game on the line, broken hands, got a big old scar going down his hand, and he comes away with such like a
man.
It's been a theme of this defense.
Spillane, bro, he's representing himself as a Raider, man. Like we talked about, and me always talk about Max Crosby, how he really represents the Raiders. He's a franchise player. He's to me, in my eyes, he's kind of developed into that player where you just can't see him with any other team.
Yeah,
like the Raiders. But Spillane has turned out to be a great signing, and the reason why I bring up Max Crosby, he's kind of shown himself as a captain on that team, a leader on his team. He's not just talking that talk; he's also walking that walk. And he literally, Divine Diablo is literally out that week. The Raiders are thin at linebacker. He has surgery the next day after hurting his hand at Monday Night Football, and then he plays against the Giants, and then he's making plays, making interceptions. Does he lead the team in interceptions? I think he leads the team.
He's up there for sure. I think Robert is going to be one of those corner. Like he's not elite, but like moving forward, especially into the next offseason, you feel confident about having a leader there. Now, if you can go get a stud to pair him with,
yep,
you know what I mean? Like that's where Spillane is going to emerge into a glue guy. And I don't know if the broadcast got to see it, but when he got on the sideline at the end of the game and they put the camera on him, and he stands up, and I don't know if you guys got to see it, but this guy just brought juice. Stand up, screaming at the fans, getting the fans involved. Like Robert Spillane is a Raiders linebacker.
Yeah.
Like, and you cannot talk enough about the toughness. But overall, man, just this defense. I'm proud of the performance. Are they there yet? No. But you see the foundation of the direction that they're trying to go in. And
Facts.
this is a good foundation for moving forward in the next season. And AP's got them playing passionate. So
Yeah,
it's interesting.
100%, man. Look, it's one thing. It's one thing to watch a game from the TV. You could enjoy it from a different angle. You can see plays, but when you're at the game, it's the energy is different. You could see the energy of the team, the energy of the in the building, from the fans, the players. You could see it all. And when Spillane made that interception, I'm not sure if they showed it on the live broadcast. I got to watch it over again. But he was in the bench, and he was the way he looked at the crowd, and he was just, and they had him on the jumbotron.
Yeah, it was an intimate moment.
Yeah,
it was a man. There's something about this team right now. The vibing, the connection with the fan base again, something that we haven't seen under the McDaniels regime. And 2 games into AP, the entire vibe of the team has changed. Like, it's taken on a completely different personality, and it's almost brought the players closer to the fan base even. And you kind of seen that with how Spillane reacted.
Yeah.
Just the passion that he came off the bench with. And overall, man, these are the games that you're going to look back and they were key defining moments, because if the Raiders are really going to be pushing for a playoff spot, they had to get this one, and hopefully they can go into this Dolphin and Chiefs game and get a split. But hey, let Zach Wilson be Zach Wilson. They did that. They held Breece Hall to 28 yards rushing. Which, if you would have told me that before the game, I probably wouldn't have believed you with how leaky our run defense has been. And I mean, I know Zach Wilson had like 263 and a pick, but they contained him. You know what I mean? They held him to field goals. I never really felt like the Jets were going to take over that game.
Kuntz
showed up
with a sack fumble. And it was a real sack fumble, not one of those sacks where the QB falls down to the ground and he's just tapping them, or he gets a pressure and somehow, some way, the QB gets the ball out. Like, he finally gets there. He was finally able to get to the quarterback. He was finally able to make a play on the ball. So it was fun to see him make some plays. And shout out to, Alec M says JJ over 100 yards. Man, Josh Jacobs, man, back-to-back weeks. I'm going to give him back-to-back weeks 100 yards. I know against the Giants, he had 100 yards, then lost some yardage. He should have left the game after he got 100, because that's messed up. But I'm going to give him 100 yards because he earned it. And it was a slow start. First half, I think as we're watching the game, it was like at one point we were at like 2 yards, 3 yards rushing. And then all of a sudden, I think second half,
they really fed him, because if you remember back in the first half, like those first 3 drives, they really didn't give it to him, because we came out super pass heavy. And I think we went 3 and out. The following drive, they still tried to get the pass game going. I think he had 1 or 2 attempts. So the second half, bro, they really fed him, and they committed to the run game. That was exciting, even when it was like negative 1 yard, 2 yards.
And I know Raider fans was going crazy watching the game at home, especially anytime a Raider player makes a big play. But when Josh Jacobs made that cut, broke it to the outside, ran the dude over, I was a little nervous when he fumbled at the end.
That was right by us, by the way.
Yeah.
When that ball went out, like, we were second row, right on the field, and the ball came out. Like, that was right by us. And, yeah, man, I was holding my breath on that one. But it's good to see JJ, right? And there was a report that you told me about after the game about Josh Jacobs. What was that he said about, for the first time, wanting to be a Raider?
This is during the live telecast. So I'm sure, like, Raider fans, Raider Nation was listening to when watching the game. You guys probably heard that report from the NBC crew, and they were saying that Josh Jacobs felt for the first time this season that he had someone that believed in him, that he had trust, and that spoke volumes, because it spoke to basically McDaniels and the coaching staff before AP was able to get there, and he felt like AP was able to give him that confidence and pretty much implied that he's interested in coming back to being a Raider. And Josh Jacobs wants to be a Raider. He wasn't going to be coming back with
under that old regime.
Nah, he wasn't. Not at all. Not at all. I don't think he was going to.
But just to see Devontae Adams post game dancing in the locker room like that, like
Mm-hmm.
it's crazy how much has changed in 2 weeks.
Yep.
That's what the Devontae Adams I want to see, you know. And speaking about the head coaches, man, we've kind of talked about this off camera since we've been here in Vegas, but the subtle shots AP takes.
Before you get into that, my God, Problem TV in the building, man. What a super chat. He says, two of the best Raider content creators. As long as we keep improving and play with a purpose, I'm happy. We have a bright future for sure.
Facts,
Man, couldn't said it better myself. You're right, man. Like before AP was able to get there and get that job, and McDaniels, we felt like there was no hope. No hope, no direction. We didn't know where this team was going to go with McDaniels. We just felt like it was going to get worse because it was getting worse. It was, and that's why Mark Davis made that move. And salute to him for making that move. But I will say, Mark Davis has me a little bit uneasy, because I'm hearing he has advisors, and that's a whole different conversation for another day. I'm gonna keep it positive today. I'm gonna keep it positive.
That one's got layers. That's gonna take time to talk about.
But yeah, go back to what you were saying about AP taking shots.
Yeah. So how do you feel about in Raider Nation? Let us know if you feel the same way. But AP is sitting in this role and relishing it, and he's like, it's almost like calculated shots at the former regime.
Yeah.
Like, not like he's trying to put anybody down.
Yeah.
But he knows the situation he's in,
Mm-hmm.
and he's rolling with it.
Yeah.
And he knows it's calculated. Tell me what you think about that, and like what it is that you see him doing to put him in that position.
He knows exactly what he's doing. I mean, he knows what McDaniels lacked in. He was in the building. He's seen the things that he was in that locker room. He talked to the players. He was a linebacker coach. Mm-hmm. He was a former player. He knows exactly what's going on with this team, and he knows exactly what's going on with Raider Nation because he was a fan. He grew up a Raider fan, so he's hitting all the right buttons. But you can tell like it's all. You tell me it's a coincidence that he's going to look into the camera and say Raider. You know what I mean? You think it's a coincidence that he's going about it that way? I think he knows that part of being a Raider coach or being a Raider is embracing Raider Nation, embracing the fan base. So I think he's doing a good job so far with that. And hey, man, he has his team believing in him. You see Devontae Adams hitting it, dancing, gigging, whatever you want to talk. He was having a good time. You see Max Crosby celebrating, players smoking cigars for the second week in a row. As long as the Raiders are winning, I have no problem with cigars. Keep smoking them cigars. But yeah, man, I think AP, man, he has another 7-8 games to prove if he can be the guy. Same thing with the offensive coordinator. I thought he did a great job against the Giants. I felt like everything he was doing set up another play, but this game, there were some moments where I felt like he got a little bit too aggressive.
Yeah,
a little too aggressive. But then there were some great play calls.
There was being too aggressive. And then there was, like, the moments where, like, we could have been way more conservative, too. The 3rd and 18, like, taking a shot. You just took a sack the previous play.
Yeah.
Put Aiden back there again. He takes another sack instead of just taking the 3 points. Speaking about Aiden O'Connell, because some of the throws that this guy makes, man, like, I'm not making, like, over here, we don't, like, put titles on people. But the kid is showing that he's extremely accurate, almost like he's in an upper tier of accuracy. And for a rookie to get the praises from Devontae and to be able to get these guys involved, you've got to give a shout out to Bo Hardigree for putting a rookie in a situation where they're going 5 wide. He's getting the ball out to a bunch of people he doesn't have a ton of reps with.
He's aggressive with them too.
And
it showed that. You know what? Now that I think about it, that shows a lot of confidence in Aiden.
And I think he needs that. Because there's going to be moments this season that you need that. Like, we're coming up with Miami. We're coming up with the Kansas City Chiefs. There's going to be moments in the season where you've got to have the I'm going to go take it mentality.
Yeah.
That's just kind of how I felt about that.
Ruben has a question. He says, what do you guys think? I think I touched on it a little bit, but maybe Ray can speak to it. He says, what do you guys think of lighting up cigars in the locker room again?
I think this is one of those. This is a special moment, specifically the first time that it happened. It was a memory. It was a good moment. It was a pivot point in the locker room.
Mm-hmm.
That the whole cigar is just a symbolic moment of change
Mm-hmm.
that was going on with the team. So when you see the locker room looking forward to a cigar, it's them bought into a change,
Mm-hmm.
and I'm cool with it, man. Like, it's a player driven locker room now. This is going to be a player's team. They have more responsibility on them now in a different way
Yeah.
than they ever had. But that's what makes these victories that much more meaningful, because these players are going out there and earning it.
Yeah.
So I don't have a problem with them having cigars, man. Like, whatever you got to do to rally a locker room that just lost a head coach midseason, and now you're going 2-0, that's not easy.
Mm-hmm.
I don't care who you are. So I have no problem with the cigar smoke, man. I think if that's their thing, that's their thing. And just let it be organic.
Right.
And I'm cool with that.
Right. And they're winning.
That's all that matters.
They're winning, so it's not a problem for me. Now I could see like maybe someone from the outside looking in, like, what are you doing? Let us smoking a cigar, and you guys haven't won anything. Like, cigar is more of a symbolic thing that you do when you win a championship, and you're doing it after winning a game against the Giants, one of the worst team in the league, the Jets, who don't have a quarterback and offense that could score with anybody. Yeah, I guess you could say that, but this is a team that has very unique circumstances. They're coming from a coach that literally was clueless. Let's be honest. He was clueless. Yeah. He was clueless about the fan base, clueless about Raider Nation. He was clueless about the players in the locker room, to the point where, like, he literally got fired less than 2 years into a 6-year deal. No owner wants to do that. No owner wants to cancel a contract that's guaranteed. No owner wants to do that. So, that's a very unique situation. And as you can see, we got AP in the building, and he's doing his thing. But yeah, man. Hey, man, look. Hey, all eyes on G. Just win, baby. Man, we were going crazy, man. As you can see, you can probably hear my voice right now. It's literally going out. It's going out as we speak. I'm trying my best, but we told ourselves we're gonna go live. I know it's late right now. It's like 12 Pacific Standard Time. We got Ray finally out here, semi in the West Coast.
Yeah,
you know what I mean.
Yeah.
He's coming from the Midwest, East Coast, kind of. You know what I mean, Indiana. So he's out here, and enjoying his time out here.
My first home game.
First home game in Vegas, man.
Primetime football, got to win. It's just nice to experience Raider Nation, man, and get involved with the fan base more, and to make an appearance, man. It was nice to finally be able to get out here. The show had been doing great, and we wanted to get an opportunity to come out, be in person, get into a live game, get around this atmosphere. I think it's a good thing.
Mm-hmm.
So, man, I appreciate everybody who's tuned in and everybody who's been reaching out and support, and it just being like kind and patient with me. And I appreciate that a lot, man. But yeah, there was another one. I got Anthony Estrada says, "Yo, salute to my guy Raider Ray, man. How was your first extremely in Vegas and elegant?" I'm gonna take it as just, how was your game?
First game,
bro. It was great, man. I mean, we brought energy. We were loud. I mean, I've got a headache. I'm losing my voice. So those are all good signs. We came out to win, man. It ended in a spectacular fashion. Me and Pharaoh were sitting there, and it was the final drive, and we were both looking at each other like, "Hey, this is when we got to make a play. Like, we got to get a turnover here."
Right.
And Robert Spillane, man, just showing up and being that playmaker for the defense. And man, it was a great game, Anthony. So shout out to you.
Great game to see it in person. Anytime, like, you're watching your team. If you root for a team and you're watching it live in person and you get the W, it's always going to be a great win. Now, like, honestly speaking, it was technically an ugly game. It was a defensive game.
Yeah.
A game where we're trading field goals, and the refs.
Oh, it was so bad.
It was like, to the point, like, I don't know. Hey, y'all can speak to it in the chat. We're watching it live. I was feeling like the refs were trying to, like, take that game from the Raiders.
Covering the spread. Yeah. They got money on it, man. So
yeah, I felt like for a second I was like, man, they called an interception, and every turnover is reviewed, and it was clearly interception, and they did. I guess they reviewed it and they didn't rule it an interception. And it was obvious they're showing in the replay that he dropped it. Like the ball hit the ground, and AP challenged it, and they told AP that you couldn't challenge it. And I think that's when they
took a timeout.
They took a timeout. But I'm not mad at AP
I'm not
for that.
No.
He was just trying his best to like make something out of nothing. Like
the even worse one though was the second, the fumble.
Yeah.
They called it a fumble, and there's a whole pile. You didn't see any ball come out.
You didn't see nothing. You didn't see anything.
On the replay, I mean, it was tough to see, like on the replay.
Yeah.
But it came like obviously they had an angle, and he was down.
Yeah.
Like clearly he was down, and man, so that they pretty much gave them 2 turnovers.
Yeah, and it's funny too. I think after it, like we were sitting right next to Jets fans, they were like, "Man, like the refs are like, it's fixed."
Yeah.
Even they were like,
they were telling us
because it was everybody can see that these were calls that should not have gone.
Devontae the whole game.
Oh, holding on Devontae all game.
And you guys didn't get to see it on the broadcast, but where we were sitting, Devontae goes up to a ref and he was snapping on the ref. Him and AP both went up to the ref together, and Devontae was getting into the ref because the entire game, Devontae was getting held by. It wasn't just Sauce; it was the entire secondary, bro. Just wrapping his waist, wrapping hands.
Yeah,
just doing whatever they could to kind of nullify him. But it is what it is, man. We got to win.
Yeah, Alex says you guys think the DB room going to be all right after the injuries this game. Yeah, man. Hopefully, Amik Robinson's okay. They didn't replay it during the game, but when we were watching it happen, like I said, we're on the field, so we seen Breece Hall literally leap over. I don't know if it was Amik Robinson, but then all I see is Amik on the ground, like not moving. Yeah, like not even moving. So hopefully he's all good. I got to see the replay again, but hopefully he's good, man, because Amik, although he's not a starter, he's a key rotational DB in this room.
He's really important for the role that he plays.
Playmaker.
Yeah.
Playmaker. He's one of the DBs that forces turnovers.
Yes.
At the corner spot especially. So yeah, definitely huge for us.
He's one of those guys like the Spillane play. That's kind of like an Amik play. You know what I mean? Like kind of take some, give some throughout the entire game. But when it matters, like Amik's gonna go out there and take it. So
yeah. I
hope that he's gonna be okay, man. I don't know where the DB room stands. Like we were kind of talking about this before the show. Is like, is Nate Hobbs our best defensive back as far as the corners? And I would say like probably. Like as far as a nickel DB and his ability to get in the run game and blitz and
forcing turnovers,
being at the right spot at the right time. He had that pick last week. He just.
You said Nate Hobbs?
Yeah.
I feel like he does get exposed on the outside against good receivers.
Like he's definitely a system.
Yeah, he's not a true cover corner. But then some will argue like, are there any true cover corners in today's league? But I would argue yes. There's guys.
There's a handful.
Yeah, there's some guys like, man, like they can hold their own. Like Patrick Surtain out there in Denver, a guy that we played today, Sauce. Even though I think that he, like we just mentioned right now, he was holding on Devontae. They weren't calling nothing. But it is what it is. But Ruben actually talks about, he brings up a point. He says, Tyler Hall stepped up in a major way with Amik going down and Jacorian having to leave the game. So he actually stepped up, making some key tackles. He made a huge tackle. I think, was it on a running back? I think it was one of the, it was a big tackle near in the second half.
Open field tackle.
Yeah, beautiful. Yeah, beautiful play. But yeah, man, hey, look. See, Alec, you say same old Raiders league. Yeah, I already know. I get you 100%. But guess what? You know what I like about this? We were able to overcome it.
Yeah.
And that's what the great old Raider teams were able to do. The rest were against them, but they were able to overcome it.
And you've seen the way that the Jets got the turnovers. It was so controversial. And obviously, let's be real, they weren't turnovers. And then what a way to end it was just a stamp. You know what I mean? Like Spillane just putting a stamp like, there's no denying this. I'm going to jump this route, take it, game over.
J-Dog209 says that was another one, too. I thought that was a first down, too.
Yeah.
I thought that was a first down, too. He said when they didn't give Renfro that first. Yep.
Yeah. And what about, one thing I do want to talk about, like this Raiders offense, the amount of misdirection that they use on offense is like they're setting things up later in the game.
Yep.
In that fourth down conversion where they fake the quarterback sneak and handed it off to DeAndre Carter around the edge on fourth down. Like,
Yeah, that was nice.
the ability to that's going to be so big moving forward, man, because you have direction going east and west. You've got the vertical ability with Trey Tucker, Michael Mayer having that kind of game, man. Like, I think that this is the game that this coaching staff is going to see. Hey, Michael Mayer can do this in the red zone. Like, and we've been talking about it on the show all season. Like, why can't we get Michael Mayer, one of the biggest red zone threats? Why can't we get him involved in the offense in the red zone?
It's almost like pre AP. We'll just say that pre AP. They didn't have any trust in him, and they kind of were like, you know what, he's a rookie. They put him in that rookie space and said, you know what, you're just going to be learning how to block this year, and then we're going to incorporate you. They were taking a long-term approach, which didn't make any sense because he's able to contribute
As immediately.
Yeah.
Like, day one. It's just they did it reversed. Like, you're trying to develop a weakness instead of using a strength.
Right.
And now it's like, man, to see Aiden O'Connell, because on that play, if you guys watch, his first and second primary reads were on the left side of the field.
Mm-hmm.
So you see Aiden hikes it, boom, shifts his feet to the left, goes to read one, not there, goes to read two, not there. And the quarterback before would have had happy feet, forced the ball.
Mm-hmm.
Sees an open running lane, takes a running lane, not a running quarterback by any stretch.
Yeah.
But takes that lane to buy extra time for a guy to develop.
Mm-hmm.
Michael Mayer takes a release to the back of the end zone, and Aiden puts a dot where only Michael Mayer can get.
I liked how he was able to make a second reaction play. And that's something that he's not really known for, but still maintain his accuracy. Still be able to give his receiver an opportunity to make a play.
And for a fourth round rookie, really getting a second start.
Yeah.
That's impressive.
Yeah.
That's big. That's a big moment, man.
And you know what too? The coaching staff believes in them because they're aggressive. They have an aggressive game plan with Aiden O'Connell in the game, and on top of that, the players believe in him. You hear Devontae Adams talk about him, like he said, we don't look at him as a rookie. You see that? You hear him after the game? He was like, we don't.
Devontae doesn't just throw that.
Yeah,
he's not a guy who's just going to throw that out there.
Yeah,
like he really does. Like if he says it, he means it.
And what he meant by that is that he doesn't. Aiden O'Connell doesn't carry himself like a rookie. We understand, like, if you look at it in terms of how many years he's been in the league, yes, he is a rookie.
Yeah.
But it's just the way he carries himself, what he's able to do on the field. Like, I was looking some things up on Aiden O'Connell, and the fact that he's able to. One of the big things on him was the fact that he's able to really look at the protections.
Yeah. Get up to the line of scrimmage.
Yeah.
Mike.
Yeah, and that's something that a lot of young rookie QBs still need time to develop.
But Bo has given him that freedom. That's what's impressive.
Yeah.
Like, let's be honest. Like, they had one game together, and they gave him the freedom to go up to the line.
And Bo was his QB coach, so he knows him more than anybody else on the team. Like, he's a guy that is with him every day in that room. Been through the tough times. Been through the times where he had to work through mistakes, work through growing pains. So he knows what Aiden O'Connell, he was able to.
Did Bo hurt his stock, or are you just neutral on it with the type of performance?
I think just like AP said at the conference today, he said we're all rookies right now.
Yeah, and that's a good point.
And I like how AP included himself.
Yeah,
as well as Bo, as well as Aiden O'Connell, and also told everybody that they're all kind of connected with each other.
Yeah.
So I think if AP stays, I think Bo stays. I think Bo stays too. But we'll see. We'll see. It's not 100%, but if the Raiders are able to put out a competent offense, they will grow. Why would you want to change that?
Well, let me ask you this, because this is something that I'm looking long term too. Because if you bring back AP, think about the Rich Bisaccia situation, and had we rehired him, I don't know that I believed in that staff as a whole. Like, they did something special, but that doesn't mean long-term success. So what I mean by that is, if they rehired Coach Bisaccia, would you have trusted Greg Olson to come back as the? See what I'm saying?
No.
So I'm curious with the AP, that if AP gets brought back, say they go 5-4, whatever it is, if AP gets brought back, if Bo did a good job but not great, or a situation like that, do you feel confident that AP's going to make the right moves as far as, hey, we did something special, we came in, we reinvigorated this organization, created a spark, and these guys were a part of my staff, I want all of them back? Or do you think AP will be like, hey, look, we did good, but can we move on from a guy that was in this situation with us? Like, if you got to move on from Bo to go get an upgrade, do you think AP will do that, or do you think he'll stick with the staff that they created this momentum with?
Or would he keep Bo and like demote him back to QB coach? Do you see that happen?
I don't know that you can go back like that. Once you make that move,
Yeah.
you know,
Man, it's kind of embarrassing.
it's a weird situation.
It's not embarrassing, but it's just like, you know.
Thank you for your certain, but just go back.
Take your ass back to QB coach.
I don't think he would do that.
Nah.
It's either you're in or you're out.
No, I think I don't know. I just felt like AP saying that, like we're all rookies, and it just kind of like it just makes it seem like they're all kind of connected to each other, like they're all
Because right now it's working, right?
Right.
Whatever they got going on, it's working, and we could debate back and forth whether that's sustainable, right? Like, can they keep this energy for?
But what's the bar though? What's the bar? Like, what's the bar for Bo? Because basically that's what you're talking
But
about.
that's but that's the scary part.
And
too.
and Aiden too. Let's be honest. If Aiden gives us games where he's just 200 yards here, 1 touchdown, an interception, but you know we win a few games, the team looks energized. Do we not draft a QB?
You know, we still got to draft one, I think.
Exactly.
I mean, for Aiden to be the guy, Aiden's got to go have like a statement game. Like you see, and look, before I say this, they're in way different positions, right? Like CJ had all the training camp. He was the guy. He was the first round pick. Like it's built for him.
Yeah.
Right. And they got a good defense. Like their whole situation's different.
Yeah.
But what I'm saying is CJ is putting games together that you're like, oh yeah, like this is clearly the dude.
Yeah.
Like he's young, he's a rookie, but the game's not too big for him. He goes out there and wins games. I need to see that from Aiden. At least, you know, like these Miami and Kansas City games, each game I got to see a little bit more. Like I've got to see Aiden go out there and when the running game's not going, to be able, hey, you're gonna have to at some point go and put 3 touchdowns on the board. Like it's just that's the type of league that we're in. So I know Aiden's capable of doing that because he's very accurate, and it's gonna come with time. But man, at some point this season, specifically more towards the end of the year, if Aiden's going to make a case to be the guy, he's got to put some statement games together.
I think just like AP has a bar that he has to hit in order for him to come back, I think Bo has a bar in order for him to come back. I think Aiden has a bar for him. Obviously, he's going to come back, but for him to be considered, oh, this might be the guy that could be a for the Raiders.
Because I'm not going to lie, like, I don't have the feeling like, oh, this is the guy.
Not now, yeah.
Yeah.
No.
You know what I mean? Like, I see a guy that for the situation that we're in right now,
but
he's the guy.
That's what Aiden's been hearing all his life.
I know, bro. I know.
All his life. That's why it's kind of interesting. Like, he has a chip on his shoulder.
Yeah, he proves people wrong.
Walk on Purdue. He had, like, what, eight other people in front of him.
And he goes out there. Look, it wasn't always pretty, but tonight he showed that he belongs. And a ton of the top quarterbacks, Jalen Hurts, Justin Herbert, they've all been struggling against the Jets defense.
Yeah.
Like they've held all these powerhouse quarterbacks to minimal, and Aiden's right there statistically with them all. So
yeah.
I don't know, man. I don't know.
And to put this in perspective, because I know like Aiden didn't have the greatest game today, but like Mahomes didn't have a good game. Herbert didn't have a game. There was a lot of other top quarterbacks that didn't have a good game against the Jets. But Aiden found a way to win.
Yeah.
And that's all that matters. So next week is going to be a tough game.
Yeah.
It's going to be a tough game. But let's get into the chat, man. We're over here just chopping it up, man. We're fresh coming back after the Raiders won live from Vegas. We went to the game, had a great time. And, man, we enjoyed this Raiders win. Let's see. We got here, man. Raiders, Ruben says the Raiders draft position is 16 right now. Interesting. 16.
Hey, that's like offensive lineman,
We do need help in the trenches.
Defensive back type of pick.
Oh, and that's another thing. Colton Miller didn't start.
Yeah.
So props to the O-line for fighting against this tough defensive front. Even though
JJ got over 100.
Yeah, Josh Jacobs got over 100, but also even Aiden O'Connell hanging because he was they're getting after him at some point when that aggressive approach on offense was catching up to him in the first half, and I felt like they were kind of pinning their ears back and getting after it, and that pocket was collapsing.
Seeing these two performances out of Aiden, it makes you really wonder, like, what went into the game plan with Josh McDaniels, with Aiden O'Connell with the Chargers.
Oh, yeah.
Like, to see him sacked like that.
Yeah. But to be fair, like, Josh McDaniels doesn't cater to he doesn't cater his offense to a player. Like, he doesn't specifically make a play for this player. He doesn't draw up a play and be like, we're gonna get this guy involved and we're gonna do. No, he just we're gonna my offense.
Aiden. Like, think of how he treated Aiden after the game and just like mannerism and comments. And now fast forward to how much this team believes in that kid. And that was your former head coach, like treating him and representing him in that way. But
we got Uri Costa says, welcome back to the world of content creation, Ray. Glad to see you're back at this. Man, yeah, man. Hey, we haven't seen Ray in a minute.
My new nickname, I'm going to be the White Tiger. Latavius Bryant.
He's actually back. I think he's with the Cowboys now.
Yeah, he's with the Cowboys now.
He's with the Cowboys.
That can be my nickname. I'll be the White Tiger.
Yeah, man. So he's back, man, for now, man. But we were able to go to a game and have a good time. But we were like, you know what? Let's go live, man. Let's have a special edition. It's late night. I know it's like 12 midnight. Man, we appreciate everybody pulling up. Make sure to hit that like button, subscribe, hit the notification bell next time we go live, all that good stuff. Subscribe to my guy Ray as well, because we're going live on both channels. So if you guys are watching, make sure to subscribe to both our channels. But yeah, man, it was an exciting game. Are 5-5. They are 500. Now looking forward, we're gonna have probably our two toughest games in a row so far after having kind of like a easy 2 games for AP.
We're gonna see where we're at,
coach. Yep.
That's the biggest thing, man. We're gonna see where we're at. If we could split these 2 games, I'll feel good. Like, and to be honest with you, I think the most realistic one might be the Chiefs.
The Chiefs?
Yeah.
Okay.
But the Chiefs' defense is sneaky good too. So, and what we've seen it today, man. Raiders are still struggling with Max Crosby, the inside D-line games. Anytime he stunts on the inside, it just creates a back door for the quarterback, and they take advantage of it running. A guy like Patrick Mahomes, he's gonna eat that alive. So
I'm gonna be honest. I'm not feeling 100% confident with that Dolphins game.
No.
I think they're coming. Are they coming off a bye week?
Yeah.
They're coming off a bye week. Mike McDaniel, he's gonna have some, cooked up before the bye week. I know they had like a tough loss, and on top of that, it's an East Coast game. And no matter the head coach, no matter who's back there, East Coast 10 a.m. starts have always been for West Coast teams overall. Obviously, the Raiders as well. So I think it's gonna be a real tough game. But man, you never know with this team. This team is like,
if they can get after Tua, man, they got to get after. They got to find a way to create consistent pass rush. Today wasn't as, despite the offensive line issues for the Jets, the line wasn't as dominant as I hoped. Now, running defense, yes, but getting after the passer, I thought they kind of sat back more, rushed forward, and made Zach Wilson make the play.
Right.
So
and I thought the run defense had some moments where you were like, they struggled at times, but they held Brees in check.
28 yards.
28 yards, 2.2. Like, I think rushing average, like, and that was the guy that I was afraid of on offense, to be honest with you. That was the guy that was like, because we've seen other running backs coming. We've seen the running back when we were playing Chicago, and we made their running back look like one of the best running backs in the league. So I think it was Dante Foreman, Dante Foreman, and even when we played the just running backs, Saquon, that game obviously got out of hand for the Giants, and we went up big. But I seen moments where he was getting loose. But we were able to keep Brees Hall in check. But I think Miami's a whole different animal. Like,
Well, I think there's something to be said about AP preaching all week. Like, yeah, the 8 sacks were good, the 2 picks were good, but we got to stop the run. And to see a team to be able to make adjustment like that, it was a glaring hole. Like Bears game, the last game that we just had, like even Saquon kind of got a little bit. He was like his yards per carry was up there. It was like 6 or 7, something like that. So to be honest with you, to see them adjust like that on the floor, be able to make that adjustment into limit Brees Hall, who's been having a heck of a season.
Yeah.
To make that quick adjustment tells me that these players are responding and they're able to make the changes. Yeah. So that's a big improvement for me. So to me, man, the Miami game is tough because how they attack you horizontally and vertically. Like they've got speed to go east and west. They've got speed to go north, and they've got speed, and then they've got more. Like, yeah, so it's not a good matchup.
Yeah, defensively it's going to be tough because like you're telling me Marcus Peters is going to match up with Tyreek Hill.
Don't even. Like, hopefully Jacorian's okay because he's the only one who could play.
But even Jacorian, man, like
a rookie.
and Jacorian has been known to like so far this season where he's kind of let people get behind him a bit. Like whether he gets beat at the line of scrimmage and he's trying to recover.
I think he's pretty confident in his speed, and it might be a little bit too confident.
Not against Tyreek. You take one false move.
Everybody's got to play like 6-7 yards off.
Yeah.
that's just the And if you're Marcus Peters, probably 15 or 20.
Yeah. So we'll see. And I think I got to look at their defense. Hopefully this guy get a chance to take a look at the Dolphins and see what they got going on overall as a team defensively, what they got going on. But that's going to be a tough game. But, hey, man, if the Raiders are going to make the playoffs, they're going to have to win some of these tough games. Like there's some winnable games in their back end of their schedule out of their 7 games that they have left, 7-8 games, I believe. But they still have to win some of these tough games. And some of these tough games are against the Dolphins, Chiefs twice.
If they split and beat one of these, do you think like they could actually be a contender this year for the playoffs?
Do I think they
if they get a win against the Miami or KC, do you see like, oh, okay, like yeah, this team's good? You know what I mean?
I gotta see. Okay, I gotta see what this offense is consistently. Okay, all right. We played against the Giants; they were able to put a complete game. We play against the Jets. Jets, mind you, are one of the best defensive teams in football. Didn't really have like the biggest performance that you would like. Now we want to know what's going to happen when we play the Dolphins. What's going to happen? We're going to play against the Chiefs. Now the Chiefs do have good defense. Dolphins, I believe, might have a solid defense as well. Yeah. So we'll see who shows up. We'll see how are they able to create an identity because this is a whole different. It's the same offensive scheme, but this is a whole different offensive coordinator, and he's super aggressive. That's what I'm noticing. Like he's attacking. He's attacking, but you never know. We don't know what to expect, and I think that's what's helping him out right now is the fact that like a lot of probably defensive coordinators maybe don't know how to game plan against a guy that kind of like you don't know what he's gonna do like from week to week. To be honest with you, because he's never been an offensive coordinator, so
and he gets to add more each week. The more that they install, the more you can be like, all right, that didn't work, that does work.
Mm-hmm.
And no, man, it's interesting. We'll see where they're at, man. I think tonight was good for them, especially heading into this 2-game stretch. I think they could use all the confidence that they want. I'm happy with where the team is at, man, but we're really going to find out who they are.
Yeah. Uriah says, I feel like we're going to be either the Dolphins or Chiefs before the bye week. Okay.
I hope, man.
Okay.
As long as we split, I don't want to go 0-2 and get embarrassed.
Ooh, hey, this, now that I think about it, this might be like the latest bye week that we had in a while. Usually our bye weeks come like in the middle of the season, and obviously by the time we have our bye week, that's over. Like
you got guys with broken hands. like if anybody needs a bye week, it's us.
Oh yeah, that's a good point, man. If Amik's out, that's the guy that I would want on Tyreek. And I'm not saying that Amik Tyreek stopper, but I just feel like he fights.
Yeah.
Like he fights, he's in there.
He's gonna have to get burned once or twice.
Yeah, like Tyreek's gonna embarrass him, and then Tyreek's gonna probably say something. He's like, oh, and Tyreek and Amik, he just responds to like that battle, that game within a game. Like and that's what I love about Amik Robertson. He's just a tough guy out there. But man, we got my guy Motown Moten. He says Raiders' new physical and aggressive identity is a confidence builder. They'll need it against Miami and Kansas City. Facts, 100%, man. If you guys don't know, man, y'all need to check out Moten, man. My guy over here, man, from Bleacher Reports, Sports Night. He's everywhere, man. This guy's phenomenal, man. Mo, we need you on the show, man. We got to get you on, man. Yeah. Sooner rather than later, man. Me and Ray were talking about you the other day, man. We're like, hey, man, Mo is one of the guys that
we're Mo guys.
For sure. He is on it, man. He knows his stuff. He knows his stuff for sure.
But no, that's a good point, man. Like, and we talked about it a little bit earlier. Mo is just. You're gonna have to be aggressive. Like if you want a chance at beating these good teams, regardless if Aiden O'Connell's a rookie, he's out there now. Now you got to roll with it. So the aggressive play calling tonight. I know we came up short in some aspects, but you've got to be excited that they have trust in Aiden to go out there, and if he makes a mistake, to rally behind them. But man, put him out there. And all this is building up Aiden O'Connell for what is coming. Like he's getting a lot of really, really good reps. And getting put in a lot of situations that are tough, they're hard, but he's showing that the game isn't too big. So, is he the guy? No, he's. We're not gonna put that on. But is he showing that he belongs here and he's earning his stripes? 100%.
Yeah, no doubt, man. Alex says Hobbs needs to stay healthy for more than one game. Shake my head. Is he hurt? I didn't see any injury. I got to see the final injury report. I didn't see anything about Nate Hobbs. So I gotta look into that. Garrett Huff says, with our pass defense, we can beat the Fins in KC. Okay, Garrett talking his mess right now. He's a believer in this pass defense. Hey, you know what? We gotta put some respect on Patrick Graham's name.
Whatever they got up in those boxes,
Patrick Graham, AP, what they're doing like defensively, they got these guys playing hard. They don't got a lot of big names, but like they're making it happen. They're making it work.
They're bought in, man. It's the best that I've seen the defense play in years, for sure. And it's not like now as far as run defense. You know what I mean?
I'm still not 100% sold on the defense. Like I'm not.
But let's talk about it though,
like because I feel like if they play against like a good quarterback, I'm nervous.
Have they got turnovers though?
Yes, against
specifically lately. Regardless of who against, but are they creating turnovers?
Yep.
That alone, like based off of what we've been in the past, like they're creating turnovers, man, and it's been timely turnovers. And the defense, like the pass defense specifically, they've been impressive, and they're doing it with guys like Marcus Peters, who's let's be honest, it's not the old Marcus Peters. I know we got a pick. We said like, hey, for $5 million, he's already got a pick 6. He's probably made his money. He's probably done his part.
I still think they need some talent. That defense gets for talent, but I want Patrick Graham to stay. I want that whole defense to stay because I feel like I don't want it to start over because I feel like we start over with a new defensive coach and it's just gonna be
they finally got the system down.
They're gonna have to get rid of these guys that's already there. Then it's gonna take another 2 or 3 offseason.
Yeah,
I'm like we're building something right now. So best case scenario right now is AP be the guy. And then he just brings back like the majority of the staff. Yeah. Now, if the offensive coordinator needs to be replaced, then that can happen. But if he balls out like and he impresses in these next 7, 8 games, then I don't mind that at all.
No,
especially if it includes Aiden O'Connell being a guy that we can possibly see be a starter. And for that to happen. Things need to happen. I know that.
Yeah.
Right now, we're kind of like, I don't know. But then if we get to the point where like we're fighting for like we're in it, like
big picture of the team, we've got to address the offensive line. Right. If Aiden's going to be the guy, you've really got to invest some serious capital into the offensive line. You've got to do something. Defensively, you have something there.
Yeah.
Right. You probably need a pretty dominant bookend edge. I know we drafted Tyree, but I mean, we'll see where he's at development-wise. You need an interior defensive tackle. that can pass rush. Get Jerry Tillery off this roster. Like, I'm not a Jerry Tillery guy. He gets pushed.
Yeah.
He has a hard time getting involved in the game.
Yeah.
I'm not a big Jerry Tillery guy. Get an interior pass rusher.
He's just a guy that you can put in on obvious passing downs where he can get after the passer, but he's never been good against the run. That's been an issue since he played with the Chargers.
He's getting asked to do more than what he should be.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So the linebacker situation, you've got Robert Spillane. I think that's the glue guy, but you got to go get a star player.
And it's not a good sign. And you brought this up when we were looking at the inactive list before the game. Byron Young and healthy inactive.
Yeah.
Our guy, Nesta. Nesta didn't get the.
Hey, have you guys seen the post game live that he did though on his IG?
Yeah.
I think that has to do with this being inactive.
Yeah, possibly. Yeah,
like, I think AP might be holding him accountable for.
Yeah, like probably sending a message like, "Hey, you know what? Just keep that."
Like, I'm gonna let you be you, but
right.
But you can't be getting on the internet like saying stuff like that.
Yeah. That's possible. That's possible.
So
sure. Because I felt like he played.
No, he played really well.
He played
specifically in the run defense and going against Breece Hall. That's what tells me it was a more internal decision. Than performance based. So
So hopefully he'll be back next week against Miami because we're gonna need it. We're gonna need it for sure.
But Trayvon Merrick, man, like I was gonna address the issues with the defense, but like interior defensive tackle, go get a star linebacker to put with Spillane. But Trayvon Merrick, like at the safety position, man,
he's playing fast. He's playing fast. He had a play on, even though
it was a good play by Garrett Wilson.
It was a good for him to hang on because he came and laid the hammer, and he was able to make it. He was able to get there, but.
And he was setting that up.
Somehow, someway, Garrett Wilson was able to make that catch and get that first down. But he had a pass defense on a deep throw from Wilson. And Wilson, the thing is, Wilson's not the greatest quarterback. He's trash. The Jets fans knew it. Man, we had a Jets fans right next to us at the game, and he literally left before the game ended. So it's not like we're playing against a top QB the last couple of games. So that's what I'm saying. Like, when we play an actual good QB, we know that is a solid to good QB. That's where I start getting nervous.
Yeah.
Because Patrick Graham plays this bend but don't break defense, and I feel like a good to solid QB will come in and just be like, okay, this is barbecue chicken. I'm gonna take it all the way down and score a touchdown. And we're gonna play against, a couple of QBs that are up there for some people as one of the best QBs in the league. So we'll see how it works out. We got some people in the chats. Up for review says Graham deserves to finish the season, but he's not good enough, to be honest. Woo, okay. If I had my sound effect board, I'll give you a shots fired. Up for review. My guy JT, I keep saying up for review. That's my guy JT, man. Appreciate you coming through. Defense is not solid yet. Needs D-tackle. Yeah, for sure. They definitely need talent. We're not saying that.
No, I just think that they have
playing
the
well.
depth. Now they need star power. Like, you've got the foundation
right
of what you can build on, but now you got to build upon it.
Okay. Yeah, that's a fair point. He says needs D-tackle, DN, linebacker depth, cornerback, strong safety, offense needs right tackle, right guard, and good depth. Okay. Ruben Ortega says 3. Wilson absent at the stat sheet again. You talking about Tyree Wilson? Yeah.
We gotta be patient.
Yeah, we'll be patient with him a little bit because I feel like the injury, it just makes it. I don't know. It makes it very interesting that they would pick a guy who is not 100%, like that he has a foot injury, and remember there was that, like, I think it was on social media where it was like that doctor that kind of implied that he was not going to be 100% until his second year.
Yeah.
Which is crazy to think that you would take a guy's number 7 and he wasn't going to be, and that's the reason why he dropped. So, which is crazy. So, we'll see. We'll be patient with Tyree Wilson. It's his first year, but I get it, man. We're not seeing a lot from him, but he's gotten better. If that means anything. That means anything. But up for JT says, sorry, defense still not tested. And continue to show how shaky they are, not disciplined. D-line still has horrible lane discipline and gap responsibility. Showed very. Yeah, man, I hate when they do those stunts or when Max Crosby goes inside and all the quarterback does is roll out.
Yeah.
And boom, he's either running or
Yeah, like, let's be honest, like Max is the D line,
Right.
and he opens up. If anybody gets any type of stats, it's because Max is drawing so much attention. So yeah, look, the D line isn't where it needs to be, but I do think that Patrick Graham's having a better season.
Like overall, I think because we didn't really, the bar wasn't really high for this defense. Let's be honest, we weren't thinking that this defense was going to do anything. We felt like it's going to be another year where,
Man, I wish we could pull it up where the team actually sits. Because what is that number that Raider Nation always talks about? Like, man, if only we had a top 15 defense. You know what I mean?
by the numbers, I think
We probably around there.
we're probably like somewhere in the
Run
middle of the
defense is
pack.
probably what would keep us out of it.
Yeah, but it's just, I feel like I said, when we play good QBs, that's where I'm like, I'm not seeing it as much. Like,
Yeah.
you know, and we have it the last couple games, but we're gonna get tested. Miami, we're gonna see. This is a test for this defense, for this offense. The Raiders, this team, the coaching staff. It's a huge test against the Dolphins and the Chiefs. We'll find out.
I think as long as the Raiders can keep Tyreek from getting behind the safeties and Jalen Waddle from getting behind the safeties, if you can limit Miami, kind of like what they're doing lately, is just letting teams, forcing them to be efficient in the red zone, it's going to give you an opportunity against the Dolphins. Like, as long as those skill position players don't get behind us,
Yeah.
and just create momentum, being explosive,
Well, technically speaking, that's what Patrick Graham
is built on.
Yeah, that's what he's pretty much been doing all the years, trying to stop the big play and forcing the QBs to dink and dunk. But like, will that work against a good QB? Will take that and take it all the way down and score on us?
I don't know, man.
That's what I'm saying. Like,
We're gonna find out.
yeah, we're gonna find out. My guy Halo Raider in the building, man.
What's good,
Says,
Halo?
salute my brothers, man. Appreciate you coming through, man. It's been a minute. Yeah, he's Alex says maybe they can add another pass rusher like JPP and a D tackle. We'll see, man. The Raiders are gonna have a huge offseason. It's gonna be huge. There's another 7. Look, I don't know. I feel like right now, Raider Nation has a lot to look forward to.
Yeah, you should
There's
be
a lot-
excited, man.
There should be a lot to be excited about because we're right now we're trying to figure out, okay, is AP the guy? Is this guy going to be the next quarterback? Is this guy going to be the next OC? On top of that, if a whole offseason of like big names from coaching candidates, another draft class where you got all these top QBs. If we win a lot of games, that's not going to matter. But there's still going to be some QBs in the draft.
Yeah.
Past like the first round. And then you got the cap space. We're gonna have plenty of cap space too as well. So it's gonna be a big offseason for the Raiders, man, for sure. But yeah, man, we just wanted to come through, talk some football, like we said in the beginning of the show, man. Live from Vegas, man. We went to watch the game, and we had a great time. Hey, if you watch Raiders or your team live, it's always gonna be a great time, whether it's an ugly game. But if I watched it at home, automatically I'd have been disgusted. Like field goals left and right. I'm like, oh man. But it was fun, man, because the defense was making plays. We were chanting them on, especially when Jacobs got it going in the second half. We were hyped. But yeah, man, we were pretty. But up review says Tyree's a backup. Well, is he a backup right now? Is he not starting?
Well, we talked about it at breakfast, man. I think my biggest concern for Tyree is that, to me, he reminds me of a big puppy dog. Like, he's just, I don't know that he has, like, actual dog in him. Like, he's big, but I don't think he knows what he is.
Looks like Tarzan, plays like Jane.
Perfect example. Like, he's got the length, he's got the size. He looks like your superstar, prototypical sized, modern D-end. Ungodly length. You know what I mean? Bull rush power. But it's just, he looks like a puppy. He's a puppy out there, man. Like, he was that kid that was the biggest, longest, strongest athlete on the field from middle school, high school, college, and he got away with it. And now he's at a level where these guys know how to play ball. And now, being big, strong, you got to bring more to the table than that because everybody's on that playing field. So I just hope that Tyree has dog in him. Now, can he learn that from Max? Everybody's like, oh, well, he'll get with Max. Like,
Yeah.
Look, man, if everybody could just sit next to Max Crosby and become great, our D-line, it don't work that way.
Man, I wish it worked like that.
I wish it worked that way, but it doesn't. So I just hope, man, that moving into the future, it's probably going to be a year 2, year 3 type of thing. But I hope that light bulb comes on in Tyree's head where he's like, he steps into manhood a little bit. And I'm not calling him like a boy or something.
Hey, JT's calling him soft. He says Tyree can't play more than 28 plays a game with his talent and natural gift, but kid is soft. Was soft at Texas A&M, Texas Tech, and now here.
Well, I mean,
Zero dog.
Kind of backs up about what I was talking about.
Hey, shots fired, man. Where's the button when you need it right now? He's y'all coming for Tyree.
Right.
But I'm gonna give him some time before I can make a judgment. I mean, on him, I'm gonna give him some time. It's not, yeah. Obviously, he's not coming out the gate, firing on all cylinders. But I think if we can just wait till the second season at least before we judge it, and also, let's build on the players that we have on this team. But we got Super Omicron in the building. He says, Pharaoh, the most important aspect of that win was O'Connell made the throw and tight end Michael Mayer made the catch. Rookies contributed. I don't know about Tyree Wilson. Yeah, man. Michael, I was hyped, man. Michael Mayer, we've been asking, like,
I've been his cheerleader probably this whole season.
Man, we're like, where is he at? We see the talent.
Yeah.
We know he's talented, like from the small plays, the small sample size plays that we've seen him. We're like, why is he not involved? But then that was the story of the Raiders offense this whole entire season, is like players not getting involved, and we clearly know they have talent. You could talk about Michael Mayer, you could talk about Hunter Renfrow, you could talk about all types of guys. Even at some point, Devontae Adams, like, he didn't get enough targets some games. Like, why is Devontae Adams not getting targets? Jacoby Myers would get all the targets. So it was an issue all season long. And then now, like, I think with the new OC, he's kind of like incorporating different players on the offense. Like, I don't know how many targets Jacoby Myers got, but he had a few catches.
Yeah, a few.
We know Devontae, I think we looked at 13. He had 13 targets. Obviously, we see Michael Mayer finally get a red zone target and get a touchdown, like my guy Omnicron says. So I'm not mad. Michael Mayer is definitely one of the bright spots from this draft. And then Byron Young, though, like,
That's a bad one.
I don't know. I think it was funny because before the draft, I remember we were doing mock drafts. We weren't expecting him to be taken like in the third round. That was like a force. Like, they forced that
top 100 pick. That's pretty rough, but I think Michael Mayer is going to be a special player. Like, you see it. Like, if you don't see that, sometimes I question what people watch, because if you watch this guy at Notre Dame, and me being in Indiana, I got to see a lot of Michael Mayer, a lot of him.
Mm-hmm.
So when we drafted him, I was excited, and I've been calling for him specifically in the red zone, but also, man, Michael Mayer is a guy where you could slowly start to build an offense around a tight end, specifically 1st and 10, man. Get the ball out quick and let him get those 4 yards, 3 yards. Just get the ball in his hand, because he's tough to bring down. He can big body guys across. When you play your cover 2, your cover 3s, you can split the linebackers and the safeties. You can go up and get it. You get him in the red zone.
Mm-hmm.
He's just bigger, stronger. I'm gonna top shelf. Taking a, like, he's just that guy, man.
Right.
And you see it all over him. So I think that this was good for him. I think getting that first touchdown out of the way was big for him.
Yeah.
Now it's about just stacking games together. So
Yeah.
we'll see how it goes.
Yeah, man. But yeah, man, that's pretty much what we want to talk about, man. We appreciate everybody coming through. If y'all haven't already, make sure to hit the like button on the way out, subscribe, hit the notification bell, do all that good stuff. And if we were able to get all the comments or in the chat, leave a comment on the video, man. We actually read the comments, and we actually respond back. So we actually we love the conversation. We wanted to keep going. Sometimes we can't get to everybody's message in the chat. So the best way to combat that is to leave a comment at the end of this video, at the end of the stream. Any last thoughts, man? Like,
Nah, man.
what to look forward, man? Like, as far as the next 7 games, man. Like you kind of mentioned that there's a possibility that the Raiders can maybe split the next couple of games.
Yeah, that's best case scenario for me. I want to see him split the Dolphins and the Chiefs. I want to see us come 1-1 out of that somehow.
Mm-hmm.
Regardless, man, maybe preferably against the Chiefs, but I don't know. But however that may work out, I just want to see him go out here and split them. And Really, man, I just want to see if this team can bottle up momentum, and if they do take a loss, I want to see how they respond. So there's still a lot to look forward to with this team. So I'm just excited, man. I'm taking it week by week, enjoying every moment of it, right? Because we don't know how long we'll have a player's coach like this. We don't know what Mark's decision's ultimately going to be. So for these next 7 games, man, this might, and I hate to say it, might be the last time that we have AP as the head coach. And I want to enjoy it because I like what they've got going on right now. So yeah, man, I'm just taking it week by week. So.
I hope AP's the guy, man. I hope he's the guy. If not, then hey, hopefully Mark Davis advisors give him the best advice.
Right. Yeah, but that's a whole other conversation.
That's a whole different conversation, man. We appreciate everybody coming through, man. Till next time, man. Peace.
Great Pharaoh. The gift of Troy is a fabulous fabric from the land of the 5 rivers.
Believe that the greatness of the Raiders would be in its future.
Just win, baby. Hello? You play to win the game. You don't play to just play it.